Actually, a decent amount of sports news going on with the NBA draft. Lots of trades. The biggest by far being Giannis is traded from the Bucks to the Heat in a massive blockbuster deal. Uh, Giannis gets sent to the Heat along with Bobby Portis, and the Bucks in return get Tyler Hero, Jamie. How do I say that? Jaquez.
Jaime Jaquez, I'm pretty sure is how it's
Is it
pronounced.
Jaime?
Yeah.
Jaime
Mhm.
Jaquez, Khalil Ware, their 7 footer, 7 foot young guy too. He's like 21 years
Mhm.
old.
Hmm.
Kasparis Yak- Yakusionis, I'm pretty sure is how you say that, and three
Better than I
first
would have
round
done.
picks. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, yeah. No, I practiced. It didn't sound like it, but I did practice that. Not enough, clearly. But at the end of the day, Miami gives up a lot of its young talent and three first round pick swaps and one unprotected first round pick, and I think it's three second round pick swaps, something like that. Or no, 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 that was for the other deal. Sorry. So three first round picks. One of them's a pick. Sorry, I'm getting this messed up. It's three. The Miami deal is three first round picks and one pick swap.
Yep.
We'll get to the other deal because the other deal is terrible. But this one, three first round picks, a pick swap. All those players go to the Bucks, who are working on a complete rebuild. Miami gets Giannis and Bobby Portis. Jerry, your thoughts on the trade? Does this make Miami a contender? Who won the trade? And where are the Bucks overall right now? Obviously, they're in rebuild mode. Is this one of those you think it's going to be a pretty quick turnaround, or are they going to be? Is it going to be a little while before they're able to get back to where they were?
I think it's going to be a little while before the Bucks get back to where they were, especially because it looks like the plan is to completely clean house. They're thinking about dealing Miles Turner out as well. We've seen those rumors going around. I don't, to be honest with you, I think Miami gives up a lot for Giannis here. That is a hell of a haul for Giannis, who has been a little injury riddled the last couple of seasons. He is a Finals MVP. He is an NBA champion. He's shown that he can carry a team to a championship, but they're giving up a lot here. Who the hell is going to shoot the three ball for the Miami Heat this year? I,
No one.
no one. They have Davion Mitchell at the one, and then he's a defensive guard. Like he's not an offensive guy really. You got
No.
Wiggins at the three who can kind of shoot a little bit, but he's again a former number one overall pick that's not really panned out to be like that superstar kind of player that everybody thought he would be. And then you got Giannis and now Bobby Portis. I don't know. I don't know if it's worth
Bobby
it.
Portis is a Bobby Portis
He's
is a 40% 3-point shooter, but that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it.
and for a team that was at they were a 10 seed last year. They were in the play-in tournament as the last seed. It's gonna Giannis is gonna have to carry a lot of weight here, and for them moving that much talent out of Miami, I think it might be too much for him to carry. Everybody's saying, "Oh, this is a top four team in the East now." I don't see it that way at all. At
I agree
all.
with you. I don't see it that way at all. But Jason, your thoughts? What do you think about the Heat? Are they a top four team in the East? Are they a true contender, or did they give up too much to get one guy? Two.
I don't think two guys, yes, but in the all end all be all, you're not hoping. I mean, you're not predicting someone to get injured, right? So if Giannis stays healthy, you get a top five player in the NBA, in my opinion. So I'm going to counter argument. I'm going to be devil's advocate. I'm going to say that I think this is a win for Miami. Now, yes, you are going to have to find role players that can shoot the ball, but those do come in the NBA. Like, I mean, obviously they're not going to be as consistent as some of the top guys, but there are a lot of college players that come in and 3 and D, and there's a lot of offseason left to still get a trade and get some 3 point shooters to surround Giannis and Bam out of bio. Jesus, my brain went blank a little bit to get Bam. Some shooters that's to surround them and have them dominate the interior. Are they a top four team in the East? Let's see what happens after the offseason. I mean, there's still a lot to happen that could shake up the East. But as of right now, as teams stand, I would say they're probably the fourth best team.
Who are the 3 teams above them?
I would go Celtics, Cavs, and who am I missing?
NBA champions?
Oh, yeah, the Knicks. I'm sorry, New Yorkers. Don't hate me. Yeah, obviously the Knicks, and then yeah, that's. I would probably put Miami there at 4.
Over
Now,
Detroit?
over Detroit, I don't love Detroit. I think they're still
I
a
don't
little
like them.
young. I think they are going to be good regular season people. I think they need a couple more years before they become true champions,
Yeah, you
contenders.
know, to not to be too against you here, Jason, but I think actually it's a terrible trade. I think that let me back up. I don't think it's a terrible trade. I understand what Miami's doing. They've been in the play-in tournament for 3 or 4 straight seasons, right? They need to
Right.
do something to either, you know, but my problem is I don't think they were in a position to go, let's win now,
Hmm.
right? Like this kind of trade is something you would see like Boston or Cleveland do. They're in a position where they have a true superstar or a couple of all stars, and you go out and you bring in another superstar and you try to like we gotta make it now, or and if it doesn't work out, we'll just reset in 3 or 4 years. Miami was in this like in between space where they had some actual solid young talent and Tyler Hero and Khalil Ware and even Yaquez was really coming on by the end of the season last year. I don't know much about the other guy, but that sending away those 3 solid young players and 3 first round draft picks is just it's that's so much potential capital that I mean it better work out. That's all I'm saying. Like
Yeah, no,
not
I agree. But I mean, you could say the same thing on the flip side. What are those picks going to turn into? We don't know. Um, like,
that's
is especially if they're in that middle ground of the NBA where they're always in the barely in the playoffs. Like those picks aren't going to be that high. So
mhm.
it depends. I mean, like again,
If you're going to wheel and deal your players, I would go wheel and deal out those guys for more draft capital and just start over with a younger team than
no,
to
I
go, and
sorry, go ahead.
have no, you're good. Than to go and have a Giannis come in with Bam Adebayo, where they play the same position basically, or you're going
Hmm.
to have Giannis play the 5, but be a point center, like it's just it's to me, it's an awkward on paper, Miami got better, but it's an awkward fill for those guys, and there's no one on the perimeter to shoot the ball. So you just pack the paint against them and see where it goes. That's my 2 cents, but I understand what you're saying too. Where Giannis is just such an incredible player that he raises the floor for any team as long as he
Yeah,
doesn't get injured.
not only that, I don't think we've seen a motivated Giannis in a while
True.
since championship. He's been wanting to move and be at a place that is closer to a port where he could get home
Hmm.
to family faster. So I think you're going to get a lot of more energy from Giannis. So not only is he still a top 5 player, I think without it, but now you're getting to the dangerous situation where he's interested and I think he probably I would assume he thinks he has a better chance of winning on this team than he did with Milwaukee. Up for discussion, but I think he has a better 2 than he's had
Hmm.
in a while. Damian
And
Lillard went there, but they didn't do much with him, so, you
Yeah.
know.
And I
and
will,
on top, go ahead,
sorry,
Jay.
just one thing. I will say this about the Miami Heat. You never know what Spoelstra is going to pull out
That's
because
exactly what I was gonna say.
that
Ding,
That's
ding,
dude
ding, ding, ding,
exactly
ding.
what I was gonna say.
that dude can lead a team of bums to an NBA Finals. Okay,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
he's
he
that
did
guy.
that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, that was my other counterpoint to that was going to be Spoel. You never know what he can do. He's probably the best coach, second best coach of the NBA. Like, he's incredible. And now he has a top 3 to top 5 player in the NBA playing on his team. So Giannis goes to Miami. Other breaking news today, yes?
Hmm. Yeah,
Today,
this
Mhm.
morning.
Thursday, June 25th, LaMelo Ball sent to the Minnesota Timberwolves, LaMelo Ball and Josh Green, for Naz Reid, One, see, this is what I was confusing earlier. I was giving the details of this trade and the Miami trade, so I apologize for that. This trade was one unprotected first round pick in 2033, so we're way out into the future, and then three first round pick swaps in 28, 29, and 30, and then three second round pick swaps in 29, 32, and 33. And I already know, Jerry, what you're going to say on this. So let's start with Jason. Your thoughts on this trade? Does either team get better? Is this good for the Timberwolves? They've already dished off Julius Randle. Uh, so uh, what does this mean for each of these teams in your opinion?
To be honest with you, I don't like this for either team. I'm gonna be generally honest. I don't like this for either team. I do think the Timberwolves needed a more focused play creator to help some of their issues on offense, but their identity was defense as well. They go in there and they get Lamella Ball. Like, yes, you get a playmaker that can score 20 assists on 10 every game if he wanted to, but you get a. Let's be honest here. He's going to have the ball in his hands more than you want for your second player, your second best
Mhm,
offensive scorer.
mhm,
And um, will he help a lot of the big men score in the inside with lobs? Yes. But that he will also take a step back 3-point shot with two defenders on him, and that'll be half of his game. So you have a lot of problems on Minnesota side. Um, on the Hornets end, they wanted to focus their offense around Canupo, and I get that, but at the same time, um, similar thing, like you need space for a 3-point shooter, and LaMelo could provide that space for you. Now, they liked what they saw from Kobe White. They re-signed him. They have men around him. I like Miller for them, the forward. Can they do a 1-2 and get better as the time goes on? Yeah, but um, are they better right now with that trade? No. Also, back to Minnesota, Nas Reed was a back-to-back Six Man of the Year player. You have to give him up. Who, who's going to come off the bench and do what he was doing for them? I don't think anyone. So there's a lot I don't like for both teams. Another thing that time will tell. It could change, but in my opinion, I don't like this trade for both teams.
yeah, I probably have to agree with you, Jerry. Your thoughts? I know before we started the show, you kind of were giving your quick opinion on it, but overall, who gets better? Who wins? Do they both lose? As Jason said, yeah. Your thoughts on this trade?
I don't think they both lose. I think if we're going by a grading system here, I would give the Timberwolves like a B plus A minus for this trade, and the Hornets an F minus 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 minus. This is one of the what are the Hornets doing here? If they would have gotten like two first round picks with Nas Reed, I would say that's a good trade for them. We're talking about a 2033 first round pick, so 7 years from now, and then three first round pick swaps, not even three first round picks or one first round pick swaps. That means if the Timberwolves are better than them, or Charlotte is going to keep their pick and not be able to get the Timberwolves pick. Like, that makes zero sense in this situation. You're trading
Hmm.
away a 24-year-old guard who can pretty much score at will. When he's healthy, he can score in the 25 to 30 points a game range.
Hmm.
And he's been the cornerstone of that franchise for the last couple of years, pretty much ever since he came into the league. I understand he's had injury problems the last couple of years, but dude, you have to give a guy like that a chance and build a team around him. And they came on hard late in the season in the play-in tournament. They almost beat out the Magic to get the A seed. What are we talking about here? You have a budding superstar, keep him on the team and build around him. It makes absolutely zero sense for them to trade him away for a 2033 first round pick and some pick swaps. As for the Timberwolves, this is a team that's been on the brink for the last 3 or 4 years or so with Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert. They've gotten to the Western Conference Finals, got beat twice, and then this year fell to San Antonio in the Western Conference semis. So they had to do something to make a trade to try to get over that hump. I don't know if LaMelo is the guy to do it, but I don't mind them taking a chance and trying to get that secondary scorer or even primary scorer. That's kind of a 1A, 1B situation here. I think it could turn into in the backcourt. Is it enough to get over the hump with the likes of San Antonio, Oklahoma City in the West? I don't know. Time will tell, but I don't mind them taking a chance on it, especially at this price. And you're trading away a 6 man of the year. Whoop de freaking do. Like you would almost give up another superstar in this situation, but giving up a 6 man, a first, and then a couple pick swaps, I don't mind the trade for Minnesota.
Yeah, for in my opinion, let's start with the Timberwolves. What's disappointing from a Timberwolves perspective is it feels to me like they just haven't realized that they missed, in my opinion, missed their major window. They had Cat. They were in the Western Conference Finals. They trade him away. Then they bring in Julius Randle to kind of try and fill this role. He's gone. Now they trade one of their other. I know you say 6 man whoop-de-doo. Naz Reid is a starter on probably 25 NBA
yeah.
teams. And so, and actually, like as a Cleveland fan, I would love to have Naz Reid on my team.
Absolutely.
So to have to get rid of him now, they obviously won on the pick swaps portion of the deal because you never know what position you're going to be in the next 5 years. It may end up being nothing, right? If they're worse than Charlotte is, then which of course in Charlotte's perspective, like, well, we don't need those picks anyway. But anyway, long story short, they won on that side of the trade. But for me, you're bringing in a guy who is a volume shooter and demands the rock in his hand all the time when you have one of, if not the best shooting guard when healthy on your team, who also is a volume shooter. So that clash right there, it to me is kind of the same, the gut instinct I had when James Harden came to the Cavaliers. I have that same gut instinct, except I don't think LaMelo, while he is a good passer and high IQ player, I don't think he's as good of a passer and as willing to sit back as James Harden was in his older age, that, as this young budding superstar. On top of that, going to the Charlotte side, I don't know how you give up your cornerstone piece, especially with Kneppel coming in at the end last year. They were just such a fun, high-flying offense where, they're just firing threes. They're playing at an extremely high pace. They're fun basketball to watch, and they couldn't get it done. But man, you had a guy in his first in Rookie of the Year talks, and Khan working with this LaMelo as he's entering his prime, or maybe just before entering his prime. I just don't understand why you would do that. So, I grade it as like a C for the Timberwolves. I still think they got the better of the deal. I think F for Charlotte. I don't know why you would make this deal. You do get Naz Reid, which is solid, but like I just hate it.
Yeah.
We'll see what ends up happening. I think at the end of the day, both teams struggled, but that's
We
just
have
my thoughts. And
quick
I was about to say.
segue here. We have a
Yeah.
question in the YouTube chat from our buddy Matt Shiny Magikarp.
Oh,
He is posing the question: what's a worse trade, Melo from the Hornets or Luca from the Mavericks, in regard to their current team after the trade and what they received after it?
I have to still go the Mavs. I mean,
Yeah,
the biggest return the Mavs had is that they had the first round pick, but they didn't get that first round pick from the Lakers trade. So that was already in there.
yeah. If Cooper
So
Flag doesn't go to the Mavericks and the rigged
yeah, it's the worst
draft
trade
lottery that everybody
in
saw,
all of sports.
it's the worst trade in the history of sports.
yeah.
But again, that didn't come from the trade itself. So like
Right,
it still
Yeah, but
exactly.
should be considered. Go ahead.
but in Matt's question, he lays out like the aftermath of the team, right? And so they lose Luca in that deal. They suck. They're able to somehow just miss the play-in and still get the number 1 overall pick. Not sure how that happens.
Do the Brian Windhorse?
But that to me, it's hard to say because you don't know where, we'll have to see the aftermath of Charlotte and of Minnesota. But off the rip, it's hard to say that the Luka trade wasn't worse, just because how do you trade away Luka? And you're lucky you got Cooper Flag, and hopefully Cooper Flag turns into the next guy. It looks like he might, but that's a lot of ifs.
Let's also keep in mind part of that deal was Anthony Davis, who's not even on the team anymore.
Yeah.
Not on the team. Someone answer, how many games do you think Anthony Davis played for the Mavericks?
Was it like 10, 15?
It's over
18?
that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say single digits, so I'm out. Because he got injured. He got injured like right after the
29.
trade.
Yeah, I know. After he literally like dunks on a guy and goes, "I'm him" or "I'm here" or something like that.
Yeah.
And then like a quarter later, out for the season.
Yeah.
Pretty tough. It wasn't the season at that point, but it was out for quite a while.
Matt said -12.
-12. Great question, Matt. We appreciate you participating in the chat. Anyone else, any questions, throw it in there. We'll make sure to answer them here live. And then if you're watching this after the fact, make sure to throw your questions in. We will answer those as well. Well, there's some other trades as well that went on a little bit more under the radar. Aaron Wiggins traded to the Hawks from OKC for 2 second-round picks. I don't really have much to say on that other than it was another trade that went on. Julius Randle was traded. I don't know if we talked about that last week because that was a couple weeks ago, but that actually was kind of a bigger deal than we're making of it. But outside of just trades, there's been more that's been going on in the NBA. Trae Young signs a 4-year, $212 million deal to stay with the Wizards right after they drafted number 1 overall DJ Dang it, I know I was going to screw this up. I practiced this one too. AJ Dibonsa. Yeah?
Yep.
Did I mess that up? Yes! Dibonsa, number 1 overall out of BYU. In your opinion, Jerry, does this make the Wizards? I know he's a rookie. I know he's number 1 overall, though. They're able to keep Trae Young. Are they still a couple years away? Are they going to maybe make some waves this year? Your thoughts on the Wizards and what their season's going to be like this year?
I mean, with the likes of Trae Young, Alex Sarr, AJ Dibonsa, if he can be the guy, a number 1 overall talent, and Anthony Davis, it's hard to say that they're not a playoff team, right? At minimum, a high seed play in like 7 or 8 seed. I think they can get out of the play-in tournament and be like a 5 or 6 seed. However, that being said, this is an all-time ambulance team. All-time ambulance team, bro. Keep these guys healthy and you're all right. There's no chance in hell this core 4 plays more than 40 games together this season. No chance. No chance. That's my take on it.
I totally forgot that Anthony Davis was there. That's how much that actually on paper should be that's pretty dang good team. Yeah. Jason, your thoughts are, you said, on paper, pretty good.
Yeah.
Does Anthony Davis play more than 30 games? Like, I don't think so.
Does he play more than 30 games and gets traded at the trade deadline again?
Send him to Cleveland.
No. Please don't.
Just don't play him.
Jared Allen for Anthony Davis.
Just do not play him to the playoffs, and we're good. Anyways, I think, yes, this team, like Jerry said, is a dominating team if they're all together and playing and healthy. Will they end up being like that? No, because I don't think they'll all be healthy. But AJ, if he comes in and is expected to be a Jaylen Brown type of player, right? And he develops and becomes that. What can't this team do? They shoot. They dominate the paint. They have bigs. They have smalls. They all can switch. Sauer is was supposed to be a lot like Wimby, but obviously I don't think he is Wimby, but he's supposed to be a bigger, lengthy guy that can handle the ball, shoot. Anthony Davis was an OG of that copy, right?
Hmm.
So they all play well defensively, other than Trey Young. But if you have those three in the interior and they're healthy, who cares? If I'm Trey Young, Olay, good luck. Like, straight up, I'll just sit here and grab the ball and shoot a three from half court. That's what can't you do? You shoot, you score, you play defense well. They have a solid team comp, but can that team comp play the whole season? No, I don't think so. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, I think they're probably a couple other pieces away. I don't see. It's nice that they're able to get Trey Young for a long term, get him long term, and then they have Debonsa on a rookie contract, and then Sar, obviously a young great talent. I don't think Anthony Davis is likely going to be a long part of their long term future, but you never know. But I think maybe they're a couple pieces away. I do definitely think though that team healthy can beat just about anyone. I mean, they have some real star power on that team. Uh, so Debonsa goes number one to the Wizards. Number two, guard Darren Peterson from Kansas goes to the Jazz, and then number three overall, Cam Boozer goes to the Grizzlies. Those are about the only three people I knew in the draft. I think it's kind of what we discussed beforehand. We weren't super versed in a lot of these young players, um, which brings up to me an interesting question, and we didn't really put this in our pre-talks here, but why is it, do you think? I mean, obviously, we're all more invested in football than in basketball, but I just feel like from a draft coverage perspective, like the NFL draft is this massive spectacle. We know the names, we've seen them. They have this show, and obviously for the NBA draft, they go over these players before they're getting drafted and all that kind of stuff. And it's these gentlemen's dreams come true. But why do you think the NBA draft doesn't hold the same cachet as say the NFL draft does? Especially with some of these players, like in basketball, one guy can make much more of an impact on a team and on the court than in football. Where you're one of 11. Jason, what
I
your thoughts?
I mean, it's I think it's a pretty simple answer actually. It's the one and done. Like you get
Mm,
you don't if you don't watch a college basketball season, you don't really know much about a player unless you're like a nerd like me and watch high school film for players. But um, yeah, it's the one and done. Like you in football, you get 3 years with these guys. You see them grow. You can see them play in their season. You can see them play in the playoffs. And much of college basketball is March Madness. So you don't really know these guys until it comes March, and then 3 months later, it's time for them to get drafted. So I think that's a lot of the issue with it. But I mean, is it an issue? No, because you're going to see them in the NBA, and that's probably why the NBA does have its importance and its fame
yeah, yeah.
as it does right now.
Jerry, your thoughts, and do you agree with that assessment? One and two, do you think that if college basketball implemented a longer, they required them to be in college longer, do you think that would help with this problem, or do you think basketball is just not a sport that is situated where that would still be as impactful as say football is?
Yeah, I think the one and done does play a factor. I think it's two more issues for me with it. The fact one that it's only a 2 round draft, right? You only get 60 total picks, and if you're most likely if you're picked in the second round, unless you're the likes of like Manu Ginobili or somebody like that, then you're probably not even going to see the court, right? You
Mhm.
might be a G League player, but that's probably the extent to your NBA career. Two, I think within the last couple of years, we've had these couple of big name guys like Victor Wembanyama, Cooper Flag coming out of the draft. NBA has done a really, really good job of marketing those players, those number one overall picks that we know are coming out. And then you kind of have everybody else falling in line, right? You don't really hear
Mhm.
much from the other guys. So I think the NBA has done a pretty poor job of marketing their younger talent. If they're not a premier, blue chip player like Wimby or Cooper Flag. And sorry, actually, it's a threefold problem. I would say that the new transfer portal has also given a big hit on this because you're not seeing the same player play all 4 years at Duke or at UNC, you might see
Yeah.
him bounce around a little bit, and you don't know who these players are when they're in another jersey, right?
Mhm.
Which is kind of weird because we don't really have the same issue with college football, maybe a little bit, but I don't know. And a lot of people don't really pay attention.
Take that back. I have to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Okay,
It's a problem in football now. Every team has a new quarterback every year, other than Ohio
that's
State,
true.
maybe.
That's
Like,
true.
even
That's
though
a
Ohio
fair
State's
point.
quarterback was a transfer quarterback, if we want to get technical. So, like,
That's a fair point. Yeah, but I
No,
feel
we're
okay,
not. Julian Saying is not a transfer quarterback, and anyone that says
technically,
that is
he,
BS. Nah,
uh,
I just
by all technicalities, he transferred
that
from another school to come to Ohio State.
don't count.
I
That don't
I
count.
agree. He's an Ohio State Buckeye, but he is still technically a transfer quarterback.
If you say so.
fair point.
uh,
Fair point.
yeah. Well, hopefully, as we go forward, the NBA draft will be something that is a little bit more better marketed and something we understand better. And maybe the people watching us right now are saying, you guys are idiots. We know 1 through 32, and maybe you guys should just be better sports talk show hosts and know these people. So, fair criticism, if that is indeed your criticism. Wrapping up the NBA, a couple other things. Dusty May, coach from Michigan, gets hired after winning the national championship this last year, gets hired to be the new head coach of the Mavericks. Quick thoughts on that, guys? You think that's something that is easy to transition? I actually don't know much about his history outside of the fact that he has turned Michigan into a powerhouse again in basketball. This last year, they looked almost unbeatable for much of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, go
Uh,
ahead.
yeah, I don't know. Coaching college basketball and coaching in the NBA, two totally different beasts. I don't know how well it's going to translate. He does have a pretty young team. He's got a young superstar in Cooper Flag there, so we'll see what they can do. Maybe they can put something together and make a run, but it'll be tough to tell early on to see how it's going to translate.
Jason, your thoughts on college basketball coaches and their success in moving up to the NBA? So it's
Uh,
different than football for sure.
it's definitely different than football. I'm going to say though he probably is going to be able to do it pretty well. You look at what happened at Michigan with their previous coach and having all that drama, stabilizing a team, and then getting your players involved in a lot of these. I think 3 of them got drafted in the first round this year.
Mhm.
I want to say.
One by him.
So yeah, and one by him. So he's going to bring in the culture, and have someone with him to be able to influence these guys as well. And then you have a young superstar in Cooper Cup, and he's proven that he can handle young
Cooper,
talent. So
Cooper
Cooper
Flag.
Flag, I'm sorry, Cooper Cup. Oh my gosh, football brain, football brain. Um, Cooper
September can't come
Flag,
soon enough.
it really can't.
Ah,
Anyways, yes, he's proven that he can handle young talent, and do well with them. So I think he's going to be able to take this young team and bring them forward.
my brother-in-law, who's a massive Mavericks fan, down in Dallas, he will really be hoping that Dusty May can take the Mavericks back to the promised land. We'll see,
I just
but
said something nice about a Michigan person. Oh.
gross. Last couple of topics here. One or last topic, I should say, are some potential trades right now. The 3 of us, obviously, big Cavaliers fans. One of the big names that's going around is Jaylen Brown, Celtics Finals MVP wing, potentially on the trading block, and a potential trade partner is Cleveland for our young star Evan Mobley. Before we wrap it up here, your guys' thoughts. Jason, we'll start with you. Is this a trade you would make, and is this something that makes Cleveland better? We just were in the Eastern Conference Finals. Does this get us to the finals? Does this win us a championship?
Cleveland, I did this for you. Yes, 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 yes. Absolutely, would I do this? Um, Jalen Brown brings us something that we've been missing since LeBron James has left, and that is a solid forward player that can play defense and score the ball. So I'm tired of seeing 3 guards on the court. Yes, bring in Jalen Brown immediately. Yes, it does give up a young player and Evan Mobley, who I think is going to be very dominant in this league for a very long time. I mean, he's probably the second best big man defender in the league, I think. Young defender in this league that I can
Yeah,
think of off the top of my head.
I'd
I mean,
say
defensive player of the year.
I would say Thompson. Sir Thompson's
Yeah,
the other
yeah.
one
Yeah.
from
He's more
Detroit.
of a
But yeah,
wing type though,
yeah,
but
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
he's 6'8", you know what I'm saying? So like big man, boom. Yes, that's who I would put second is Mobley. But does he win us a championship? No. Does Jalen Brown win us a championship? Yes. Previous super God, I almost said Super Bowl. NBA MVP finalist. I can't
It's
stop
going to be
thinking
a
about
constant
football.
theme in the offseason, but it's fine.
NBA MVP finalist. Like, yeah, come on now. Easy in a heartbeat.
Jerry, do you think this makes Cleveland better? Would you make the trade? Is this something that gets us to an NBA Finals?
Yes, I would make the trade with a caveat. You have to fill in the four position because I think Jalen Brown fills in really well at the three. I think that's his bread and butter right there. Not really. Yeah, yeah, you have Jared Allen there, but you have to find somebody. You would have to find either a backup big or a starting big to where they can kind of rotate how they are now. Um, but yeah, if you're telling me who would I rather have start at the three, Dean Wade or Jalen Brown, give me Jalen Brown all day long. Come on, please,
Yeah,
please.
that
Also, why are the Celtics like so keen on getting rid of Jalen Brown right
I
now?
I could not tell you. It makes zero sense, in my opinion. Outside of if there's some sort of inner turmoil because Jalen Brown is tired of being the Robin to Jason Tatum's Batman. Batman. I don't understand it. But hey, if this sort of turmoil causes us to get one of the best, if not the best, wing in the game, sign me up. You
Yep.
know, I don't know if this makes us better than the Knicks. I don't know if this makes us the best team in the East, but I will say that if there's one spot on Cleveland, to Jason's point, that we have not had a solid player at, it is that wing position. And I think in today's modern NBA, you just need to have those. You know, you can't just do it with guards and big men anymore. You really have to have a team that has solid wing production on it in order to win. Look at the Knicks, look at OKC, right? Like even their guards are really just are really just outside of Jalen Brunson, they are wing.
Yep.
Yeah.
They are wing
Yep.
players. They have a center, three wing players, and Jalen Brunson out there. Like
Yep.
so,
And you can even look at the first round matchup against the Raptors, who we
yeah.
probably should have swept, but because of how athletic their wings are and how good they can play, they took us to
Hmm.
7. So
Yeah.
that's it's another up and coming team to look out for because of that style of play that they have.
100%.
Yeah, pound for pound, the Knicks have the best rebounder in the game.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.